So if I look at what's happening on the inflation bit, we did see the number remaining elevated at 7.4% in July. Even for the month of August, there will be some cooling off, but it continues to remain high. We actually looked at the last 10-year month-on-month momentum in vegetable prices, and you will realize that the bulk of the increase in inflation is nothing but vegetables because of weather-related uncertainty and a very uneven rainfall, which we saw in the case of India. So yes, in my base case, we do expect inflation to remain above 6% till October. There is some cooling off you will get to see in prices from the month of September onwards. But if I look at my forecast for inflation, we recently revised our numbers higher. So we are at 5.6% average CPI inflation for FY24. In fact, for the September quarter, RBI is close to, I would say, I do see 50 basis point upside to the RBI's inflation forecast. We are at 6.2, RBI forecast, and we expect the number could be closer to 6.7 for the September quarter. Even if you look at on the ground what is happening, the government has been taking very much proactive supply side measures. I mean, we have seen lowering of cooking gas price, we have seen food supply management, maybe a retail fuel price cut in the December quarter. But I would say weather-related uncertainties, and we did see that the month of August was 36% below normal rainfall. And that can affect not only the summer crop yields, but can also affect the winter crop sowing. So I would say at this point, the upside risks to inflation are definitely on a higher side. We did revise the forecast, inflation quite high, but we will be very closely watching out in case there is any pickup in popular spending ahead of a tight election calendar in the second half. And in case that leads to a more generalized food inflation that can spill into core inflation.
The other risk to inflation is oil prices, right? Every $1 increase in oil prices increases India's oil import bill by $2 billion. I had a fairly expansive conversation with the oil and gas minister, Mr. Hardeep Singh Puri, regarding that. And he believes that higher oil prices will fix higher oil prices eventually in terms of the demand destruction it would cause. But at a broader level, from a very short-term perspective, do you think your numbers would price in excise duty cuts from the government to give some relief to the end consumer? Because obviously it seems like Saudi Arabia, OPEC Plus, are aiming for prices between $90 to $100 per barrel in the foreseeable future.
Okay, so before I should definitely highlight what is my oil price assumption, which we have taken in our forecast. We have taken Indian crude oil basket to average around $80 a barrel in FY24 versus $93 a barrel last year. If I look at the data, you will realize that imports from Russia, which is still available at somewhat at a discount, almost accounted for 1/3 share in India's oil import bill in the June quarter. Obviously, we need to see how much India keeps on buying at Russia, which is available at a discount, but that could also have implications on how much, inflation impact or other macro risks could actually behave because of oil prices. We have taken an oil price cut or a fuel price cut in retail prices in the December quarter in our forecast. So in case you don't see that fuel price cut happening, there will be more 20 basis point upside to my 5.6% CPI inflation forecast, which I'm currently estimating.